Hello, everybody. Welcome back to In My Fields. My name is Emily Haydel.
I'm JRE.
And we have a lovely guest with us today. We have
Yes.
the amazing singer-songwriter almost coming out with his second EP, James
Ooh.
Lee. Ooh, I like that rhyme.
Hola. How you guys doing?
Hola. How are you
Hola.
today?
I'm good. I'm happy to be speaking with you guys, but I'm in quarantine right now.
Oh,
I'm
Oh,
yeah.
actually,
snap.
yeah, I'm at my friend's house. He at his extra house. He's letting me
Oh,
stay here.
Hey, nice.
nice. Extra
But
houses.
I
Hopefully you
know,
don't have those
not my
ones.
own. I know, right?
Right. So you're in LA right now, right?
Yes.
And California's back in phase one again, right?
Yeah. Wait, where are you guys right now?
I'm in Hawaii. That's why I moved to
Oh,
Hawaii.
right. You told me that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I'm in Atlanta. Georgia is back in or Atlanta is back in phase one, unfortunately.
Right. So California is definitely one of the high impacted states. So I just shot a music video
Hmm.
Yeah.
last week, and then there
Oof.
were some people that weren't wearing masks that came up to me and they wanted like pictures and stuff. So it's like I should probably get tested. So on the way down from NorCal,
Whoa.
we were lucky enough to find a spot, like find a testing site that had an available time, and so I'm just waiting for my results.
Question before we even get started. How did you guys first meet? Was it at the concert last year?
Yeah, so that was the first time I had heard of Dre, but
Mm.
up to the concert, Kevin was talking about him a lot, and I was like, "Who is this guy? Like, who is this? Like Dr.
Some
Dre or
random
like
person.
I saw JRE and I was like Joe Rogan." I
Yo,
was
I
like,
get that a lot
right.
throughout my
So
whole career.
I was like, Joe Rogan's coming to our show, and
That'd be
then
dope.
like I met Dre for the first time right before the show,
Mhm.
and then I saw them doing body rolls. Like they're just
Body
going
rolling
at
away.
it aggressively, and I was like, okay,
Did you
this
join
guy's
in?
got groove.
Are you able to
No,
body roll?
I can only go like halfway.
Ooh.
I was never in a dance group or anything,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's not very attractive when I do it.
I see.
It's not like when you do it, man. You're killing it.
Hey, man, trying body roll or other things. I'm doing my best.
Love it.
Appreciate it, bro.
I had heard your voice before, obviously,
Ooh.
but I was listening to the K-pop Daebak show with Eric Nam when you guested on it, and your voice is like amazing. It's like a great, deep, like you should have your own podcast. I feel like kind of
Oh,
voice.
wow. I
You
appreciate
definitely
that.
should.
Thank you. I was using an SM7B. I was using the same mic Dre's using right now. That's like the perfect
Oh,
podcasting mic. But right now I'm on like a cheap Audio Technica 2035. So it's not as high quality, but gets the job. I
Yes.
appreciate
It's
that.
a beautiful mic.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
yeah. Your voice still sounds great. So
Oh,
if after the EP happens, you do a podcast, not opposed to
yeah.
listening to
Well,
it. It would be great.
your voice is beautiful too. Thank you so
No,
much.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
We're just gonna.
All right, Dre, if you want to get on to the first question.
All right. So this whole pandemic has been a huge unexpected setback for many.
Mhm.
So myself and everybody.
Mhm.
How have you been like dealing with it and everything?
Yeah, so I work predominantly in Asia as a producer. I kind of
China,
got
right?
trapped in. Yeah, I've been working in China a bit. I came here to just see my parents because I was working on two albums when I was in China, and I got locked down here.
Mm,
So
Whoa.
everything I was working on pretty much went out the window.
mm,
Um, like it's been 7 months since that's happened. So
Sheesh.
I kind of, those who adapt are the ones who are going to survive. So I had to pivot. And then I started focusing more on my own stuff, which is
Mm.
why I started becoming more active on my Patreon. Started writing this album because the album wasn't even on my mind, to be honest, in the beginning.
Hmm.
I just wanted to release a song a month. And
mhm,
then once quarantine happened, I think everybody who's like involved with creative work
Mhm.
just this was the only thing we had to do. So I just wrote a ton of songs and I figured I might as well put an album together, and that's what I've been doing.
Yeah,
mm.
we definitely had to adapt. That's a good way of saying it. Even me and
Yeah.
myself.
Right,
Just I
right.
changed it up instead.
Yeah, you went
But
to Hawaii.
well, yeah. Well, the Hawaii thing was always a plan because my parents are retiring in Hawaii.
Ah, that's
But
nice.
then with the whole pandemic, it was pretty early in the pandemic, and then we just got stuck there.
Mm.
And my plan was to move to LA just to be close to
Ah,
everything that I've been working with.
right,
But
right.
right now with the whole pandemic, Hawaii's not so bad. at all.
Well, it sounds like paradise.
It's
To get
pretty
over
good.
there.
I mean, definitely one of the better states to live in.
Right,
Um,
right, right.
I was coming from Florida too, and Florida's a mess right now. So
Oh
I don't know.
yeah,
Damn. Yeah.
you got
Oh
out in
my
time.
God.
I did. I actually basically did. I got lucky. Yeah, adapting. I think that's a key word for everything. Anyone that's a creative.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we all had to adapt
Everybody's been impacted like
for sure.
pretty heavily. I feel like the economy's taking a huge dump right now.
Hmm.
So, um,
Yeah, one way or another, everybody's been infected.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely had everything canceled on me.
yeah, no, I feel you. Like two albums for me, like producing two albums for other artists it's a big deal.
Mm.
And so to lose that opportunity, I was reeling from that for about a month. But
Dang.
Sheesh.
you can only like whine for so
For so
long
long, yeah.
before you get sick of hearing yourself.
Yeah. Like those two albums, do they just completely get, because like I guess you could still put them out, but it's like what about it makes it
Right.
goes on pause, if that makes sense? You know what I'm saying?
So it's really difficult writing in different time zones.
Okay.
I'm able to. So recently, I started doing Zoom sessions once again,
Hmm.
but everything that we had planned up to that point just kind of went out the window
Mm-hmm.
because entertainment industry just stopped
Yeah.
for a
Yeah.
while in China.
Mhm.
Kind of like in Korea when they have like big disasters or big accidents or something. Sometimes they'll just stop all of the promotion for entertainment
Mm-hmm.
shows and whatnot. So that's kind of what happened with me. Um, but there's more important things, for
Mm-hmm.
people to focus on. So it
For
was good to be
sure.
able to take that time and develop myself. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's working out. I got an album out of it, so
Yeah,
It's
that's true.
definitely working out.
And to be clear, so the album, so you said like a song a month, you have, so this year there's Liar, Sad, Erase, Over Us, Habitual, Bad Day, and All Right. Will they all be on the EP, or is it completely new songs?
um, so All Right is not on the EP.
Mm-hmm.
Neither are the covers. They're all going to be originals, but the album does include some of the songs I released, like Bad Day, Erase, and Over Us.
Okay.
Okay.
They'll
All
be
Right
on the
was with
album.
Amber. I'm sorry. Is that was all right?
Yes. Oh, there's a solo version and there's also one
Okay.
that's
Got
like
it. Okay.
the collab. But yeah.
Okay. You mentioned like adapting, and that was something you also spoke about in that podcast with Eric, about, people have to adapt, no matter what. If you keep on living, you have to adapt, essentially,
Hmm.
which, you spoke about how in the Light EP, from where it was initially, you said that it was kind of like a suicide note, and you brought it to Enoch from Fike, and he was like, dude, you need to like change this up, because this is like really, really
Correct.
depressing. How did you adapt from like that being the song that you were going to write, and to, making it into Light, I guess?
So Enoch is like, even though he looks like a thug because he's super tatted up and he's uh he's got this RBF.
Yeah.
He's like one of the
It's
sweetest
all
guys.
good.
He's genuinely one of the sweetest guys, and he's very thoughtful, and
Mhm.
he's super Christian, super religious.
Mhm.
And I'm really not like a super Christian or super religious person, but when I had my accident, I did have kind of a moment where I elected Christ. I was like, all right, you know what? I might die right now because I see blood pouring out of my arm, like pouring water out of a water bottle.
Mm.
And so I
Mm.
was like, okay, people try to kill themselves this way. This is possible that I go. So in that moment, I was just freaking out, and I just decided, all right, if I go, I hope I go to heaven, because that's what I've seen. Like people talk about, at least in Korea, there's a ton of Christians. So I
Hmm.
just kind of fell into that, and hanging out with Enoch a lot during my recovery,
Mm.
I think it influenced me in that way. Yeah, I think it's important that if you have a voice in the industry, if you have people listening to you, you be careful with what you say, and
For sure.
um, it should remain authentic, obviously. But Enoch was just like, what you say becomes the truth, and if you share something like that, you're gonna hurt more people than help anybody. So we turned it into something positive, which is I've been going from then. That's how everything changed for me.
Do you feel like there is a place for, you to express those like really, really dark thoughts, even though you obviously will grow from it or have grown from it? Like, do you think that those kinds of things should be put out there? Because it technically, you know, would still be considered as like art, or, you know, your true feelings at one point. Like,
For me, I don't think so,
hmm
because I'm doing everything I can to move past that.
hmm
Um, and I do think everybody has their own moment like that. I've had a few moments like that because I also had a stroke.
hmm
Um,
Oh well, yeah.
and, and there's a couple times where I thought like I was done,
hmm
you know, not by my choice. I had a crazy time in Korea, and I don't want to get too heavy in this podcast because I know you guys are fun. I've been watching some of your clips where you guys prank
Yeah.
each other
I
and
mean,
whatnot.
it's in our field, so we do talk about
Yeah.
feelings too, so.
Yeah.
I think for me, um, talking about it only kind of fosters negativity within myself. But I do agree that you need to let it out.
Mhm.
You know, but I also, when my accident first happened, it's just my personality. Like, I didn't let my fans know right away because I know there's people in Japan, like some of the most loyal fans that we had when we were in our old band. Some of them were from Japan, and
Mhm.
they're like ride or die, you know. And I did not want to break their hearts because they're some of them are like kids,
Mhm.
and I felt responsible for them. But I think for me personally, I've grown out of that, but there was definitely a point. Like the original song was that it was that expression of depression and being locked up and just being at the lowest point of your life and letting that out is part of the process, you know. But it didn't come easy. I had to go through the motions.
I feel like we have different ways of letting it out too. I mean, whether it be by song or talking, to be honest, venting out. Yeah.
Right, you gotta let it out. But when you're depressed,
Yeah.
man, this
Exactly.
is gonna turn into like a super depressing podcast. I'll just
Nah,
kind of
It's
don't
okay.
worry.
Really, it's okay.
yeah. Well, I appreciate you giving me this, facilitating this opportunity to talk about it. But I just, you know, like when you're depressed, you don't want to. I've been kind of bummed out before, but then real depression for me
Hmm.
was it's like a different. You're not yourself at all,
Mhm.
and I was like either sleeping way too much, like shutting myself in the house and not wanting to talk to anybody, and hating everybody and hating myself,
Hmm.
or um, not being able to go to sleep at all, like insomnia.
Yeah.
And so
Sheesh.
going through those peaks and valleys, it was debilitating in that you, like I said, you're not yourself. So there was a point where the pain in my hand, it wasn't just my hand.
Mm.
If the listeners don't know, the light EP, it wasn't rooted only in mental depression, but I used to be an athlete when I was in college. I played
Mhm.
water polo.
hmm
Whoa.
I was a swimmer, and that's what
Okay.
I want. That's why I love Hawaii. All right, I never
Okay.
been, but I would love to go.
Hey, come through.
All right. After the Rona,
Yeah,
Yeah.
for
after the
sure.
Rona. But yeah, so I lost a big part of my identity because I was a bassist. But after my hand, it was pretty much cut off and reattached. My, I have pain in my shoulder, my elbow, because the stress goes to the elbow
Yeah.
and my back, and so that goes to your neck. So when you're dealing with physical pain all the time that keeps you from sleeping, you're just kind of irritable
Yeah.
all the time. You know,
Oof.
physical pain is something that people that don't deal with it can't really. I feel like there's a different layer of life you kind of have to go through. Um, the depression was pretty heavy.
You said that like as of recent, it's been kind of like the pain's been sort of bothering you. So like painkillers sort of help in
Right.
some way. Like, but I know that can be a dangerous path to go down as well. You know.
Right. Yeah. So I got off of Norco,
Mm.
which is the painkiller that was prescribed,
Okay.
because I have something called, well, necrosis isn't the reason for the pain, but I have pretty severe arthritis in my wrist, and
Mm.
randomly it'll just swell to 2 to 3 times the size, and my hand will just blow up,
Oh.
and it's totally unpredictable. I could be in the middle of doing something, and it'll just swell up, and it feels like you sprained something, except the
Yeah.
pain is all through my arm, just just soreness. That's what it is.
Mm.
Um, and there was a point where I couldn't sleep because of that, but I got off of that, which is that was kind of a rough experience for me
Mm.
because I kind of have I get like focused in on things pretty easily.
Oh, I see.
I get obsessed with, for example, music. Like I can go hours producing. I can go without eating and sleeping or going to the bathroom, just be producing. That's that obsessive kind of character that I have translates to other things. So I had to be careful with how I approached, how I treated the pain.
And so that depression that you were going through, not obviously, but I'm sure it must have stemmed from, it stemmed from the accident and recovery and your stroke. But now I have some family members that have like chronic depression, and they will be really good sometimes. And then they're like really, like you said, like will sleep all day long and just aren't themselves. And sometimes can be really mean or irritable. Does it come back? Like, have you, I guess, crossed over where it's like away from that side, or is it something that's still like here and there will like come back to you?
Right. So I guess you're asking kind of like, do I have episodes of that like returning, and do I feel that like overwhelmed by that?
Yeah.
It comes up when I realized when I'm not creating.
Okay.
Like I was producing a lot of songs for other artists over the past 2-3 years, and I had 2 songs that hit #1 in China. And it felt good for that moment, and then it just dissipated like immediately. It's just like, okay, what's the next thing? But whenever I work on my own music, I do feel that cathartic just expression and release through my own music. So I realize, even though I'm producing for other artists and I'm so happy to see them like just smash it. The thing about artists in China is it's different than K-pop in that we don't really see a lot of the musicians and the work of entertainers in China, because it's so big and they're so satisfied just doing it within China. The market is crazy huge. And I feel like they don't even feel the need to expand because there's just so many people. But when you go there, there's like the Chinese Bruno Mars. There's like the Chinese Beyonce. Like they have their own thing going on that you just have. Once you're an outsider, because I was in Korea for a long time, I'd never known. You hear about a couple people like Jay Chou or Eason Chen, but once you take a deep dive, it's like, holy shit, these guys are crazy talented. But I just never knew. So once that happened, it was so awesome being able to produce and write songs for that level of talent.
Nice.
Because just amazing singers, like they'll smash it in the studio, and I could never sing like that. But you get to hear your songs like sung through an instrument like that, right? But still, there's something about having your individual creativity expressed that does it like nothing else. I'm sure you guys know what it's like, because you guys do a lot of creative stuff as well.
For sure.
So then the creative process of like between, producing and writing stuff in Korea, for yourself, and then China, like that creative process, is it maybe different than anything else or any other music industry, or is it still kind of the similar sort of songwriting?
It's different because there's different rules and there's different like culture, like mannerisms and everything. Yeah, that takes that takes precedent in everything. It's been fun, to be honest. It's been a big learning experience, because it wasn't something I ever planned to do. But it just when I feel like when you're really focused on anything, then the results can be surprisingly satisfying. Surprisingly, you can accomplish more than you thought you were able to.
I like that. I guess we can get into castles now, because you've seemingly been very focused on that and the outcome of it.
Yes.
It's a little bit more happier question.
Yeah.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. I was getting kind of sad.
Yeah, but it's okay.
You good. Your dog, Jerry. You credit him a lot, basically. Can you describe that relationship between you and Jerry?
Man, Jerry, so when I first got him, he had a similar injury to me.
Oh.
And that's not even why I got him. It was just like it just happened to be that way. But I didn't even want a dog.
It always starts off like that.
Do you have a dog? Do you guys have dogs?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I I don't know how to explain it to someone who doesn't have a dog other than it feels like a baby.
Yeah.
Babies are like magic, Something about babies are magic. I want to go make some babies. It's like Jerry's like my son, and he's so soft, and he's just so well mannered, and he likes everybody. He doesn't.
Oh, that's
he
perfect.
rarely barks. Yeah, he rarely barks, and so I don't know. He's just like that.
It's like your son.
Taking care of something
Mm-hmm.
was the best way for me to heal myself.
Yeah.
Taking care of something that needed help so badly. Because the lady that found him, actually, there's like this chat room of people that save dogs.
Mm-hmm.
And the lady that found him said that he was just being bullied by the other dogs.
Oh.
And like he was the small one that always got pushed around. And so I was like, I'll take him. If you look at the pictures from when I first got him to now, he's a different dog. It's interesting, like how loving on someone or something, or it can transform them.
Oh, for sure.
He's so handsome right now. He looks like Richard Gere, Pretty Woman. I don't know if you saw that. Am I dating myself?
No, you're not.
He's a handsome ass dog. He's beautiful.
No, you good. I got that.
This is him right here.
Oh, there he is.
I haven't released this T-shirt.
Oh, that is true. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't released it yet, but this T-shirt is gonna come out sometime soon.
That's dope.
Oh,
Holy
that's
snap.
cute. What would the merch be called? Like, what would that shirt be called? Like Jerry shirt?
I already have a line of Jerry tees that it's like my most popular
Oh, yeah.
T-shirt, and I have hoodies.
Would you get a Jerry stencil tattoo?
I thought about it, and it's not a good look for me.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I don't want people getting the wrong image where it's like I got a little poodle tattooed on me.
Hey, I mean, it'd be a good conversation for sure. Like you said, bringing up a dog is like definitely, it's a new life. Like I have 2 dogs. I had a dog since I was a Dachshund dog when I was 7, and he lived until I was 25, 26.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Almost
so
20.
long.
Damn.
Yeah, long time. He passed away, and I was like, oh, I'm done with dogs. Then like
Oh really? Okay.
3 months in, like we got 2 more dogs.
Yeah.
Oh man, you just replaced
Same
with
kind,
more?
right?
Same kind, 2
You-
Dachshunds from
I see,
puppies
I see.
too. So I literally had to raise them as like a father.
I see.
It's a struggle, but I love them.
Man, if you didn't have them, so it's like, man, that always terrifies me. I have a close friend of mine who's a photographer. His name's Noel.
Nice.
His dog passed away,
Mm.
and he said the worst part is coming home and not hearing the walking,
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh no,
see,
we got into a sad topic again.
Yeah.
dude, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna get so many dogs. That's the plan. I'm just gonna get so many dogs. When
Just have a
one
dog
goes,
farm.
I just don't. It's like, oh, okay, I got 20 more.
Well, that sounds like a good life, actually.
It does
Bro.
sound
That's
like
the
a good
dream life. But he's number one.
No, for sure. I feel that. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people have dreams to be like, I just want like to live on a farm and have like 50 dogs. Like,
That's a lot of work.
Exactly.
yeah. I was looking through your music that you've released this year. They spanned from, and maybe it's just Apple Music, but they span like different genres: electronic, pop, singer-songwriter. Do you choose those?
No, everything's kind of independent. Everything I do is independent. So, I categorize them sometimes, but on some platforms it gets put in a different genre. But I've kind of been exploring more electronic stuff because I
Mhm.
can't play guitar anymore,
Yeah.
and I literally have to write every song with one hand. So I'm using a MIDI controller. So it's been something that's been forced upon me. But as of recent, the recent songs I'm working on, I work with session musicians and I hire them because my Patreon, like people that are part of my Patreon, help fund those songs, and I'm able to work with super talented artists to put those songs together.
No, that makes sense. Your songs are hella relatable. Obviously, they come from personal experiences, right? Or
Yeah, they're definitely just what I feel.
yeah, because I've been listening to it. Like, I think I re-listened to it like 2 weeks ago just because I was just curious again, and then yeah, it got me in my feels too. I mean, obviously, I think that's
Oh,
a good
man.
job if you did that. If that's the point, Like I've said that to like my other friends that make music. I was like, bro, you got me crying. I was like, I think that was the point. Like,
Oh,
so same thing with you. You're really good too.
I
Shit.
appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Do you have like a favorite one, or is it like
Of my songs? So on the new EP, I like the new songs that haven't been released yet. There's a song called Adrenaline and a song called Castles, which is the title track. And those haven't been released yet, so I'm super excited for everyone to check out those songs. And yeah, working really hard on new stuff.
No, for sure. Can't wait to actually hear it too. Like
I'll send
like
you guys a copy.
Oh, what?
I'll send you guys a copy.
Hey, didn't have to, but I
My
bet.
pleasure. My pleasure. I think my identity, I kind of learned who I am as an artist throughout my production. And I grew up listening to like a lot of R&B and emo,
I was
like
about to ask
rock
that, yeah.
music.
Like
so
who?
if for R&B, my favorite group was Blackstreet.
Ooh,
I don't know if you know Blackstreet.
I do.
From like Teddy Riley and
See, I love R&B, so I know.
okay, that's why you're so good at body rolls.
That's why, yeah. I studied everything.
And I really like this group called IMX. They used to be called Immature.
Yeah.
I think with Marcus Houston.
Oh, snap.
That's when I was like 5 years old, 6 years old.
Oh,
and then
snap.
I played trumpet in like school, so I was a fan of like Chet Baker and a lot of jazz.
Nice.
Yeah. And then emo, I feel like I was talking about this in an interview the other day, but I feel like emo music kind of destroyed my skills as a musician because it's like so like pop punk and whatnot is just so like pedal to the metal, like power chords and whatnot, but there's something that I just loved about it so much. So a lot of my lyrics are very emo.
No, that's
and
fine.
in my feel, I get in my feels a lot, so this is kind of a perfect podcast to talk about that.
No, that's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah, I mean, I think everybody had an emo phase. I had an emo phase. Still
Yeah?
Kinda, yeah.
Who'd you like?
Who'd I like? Okay, so like I remember the first rock album that I ever bought. I guess it's kind of considered emo. It's Linkin Park.
Linkin Park.
Yeah.
Oh man. They're
Like,
Oh,
when
so
they-
that's emo?
It's like
they're-
hard rock, and they have emo lyrics for sure. Like
I
going
know,
through shit.
Right. Yeah. Chester. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. But
For sure.
Linkin Park was definitely, they're emotional, but I would say they're more rock.
No, they're hard. Like they're hard.
Yeah.
They're rock, rap, and
Right.
yeah. But yeah, Linkin Park was the first one I got. And of course, I went to like My Chemical Romance. But I was always into the different types of music. That's why when people's like, "Oh, how'd you get into K-pop?" I'm like, I was probably gonna get there somewhere. I'm pretty weird. Like when I first started listening to music, it was like, since I'm half Jamaican, my dad got me into Bob Marley. And then-
Hey, I did
and
not
then
know that.
Yeah, I'm half Filipino, half Jamaican. It's a weird mix. I look Hispanic, but it's all good. But then, yeah, and then of course I got into R&B, rap, and then I got into rock, and I'm just like everywhere. So sooner or later,
K-pop is kind of like it's a good mix of everything.
yeah,
And it makes sense. K-pop is kind of, everyone can relate or like K-pop in some way. So
yeah, they'll find their like
feel you.
their K-pop song that they'll like. I feel like
Right,
everybody will
right.
find something.
I feel like you're like the K-pop professor. Like
Bro,
learned
I hate
about
that
K-pop
word.
through you.
It gives me so much pressure.
Yeah?
I'm like, I don't know much, but I do know a lot for sure.
I'm depending on you.
Nah. The reason why I got into K-pop is through R&B. I was big fan of Usher and Neo, and then Taeyang from Big Bang came with a solo. I Need a Girl.
Which
and I
was
like, oh.
super like Omarion. It
Yeah,
felt very
super
Omarion.
Omarion.
Right.
Oh.
No, but my buddy was he works with Taeyang a lot.
Nice.
I'm sure you guys know Sunho.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Sunho.
Is he like the song? Does he like work with him on his music or just in general?
Sunho does.
Isn't he-
He works in the corporate.
Oh.
So he used to work with YG. Now he's at the Black Label.
Yeah,
but he's a good buddy of mine.
Oh,
he's like
nice.
my connection to the K-pop world still.
Ah.
I don't even see it as K-pop when I talk to him. It's more like just Korean music.
Basically.
Because K-pop can kind of sound like very commercialized lollipop kind of music, but I really respect what they're doing at the Black Label. Like even like Blackpink and
Yeah. Black Label's killing it too.
yeah, they're doing a good job.
Yeah, like you said.
Taeyang.
Taeyang, Omarion. I thought like early big band was B2K basically.
Dude, I feel you. They used to go to the mall that I worked at, Baskin Robbins, when I was a kid, and they used to come in.
Wait, who?
and watch
B2K?
movies. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
I remember I was sitting down because this is before cell phones.
True. No,
This
it's
is,
true
like,
though.
back in the day, and I was sitting down waiting for like my mom to pick me up. I was like 15 or 16, working at Baskin Robbins, and somebody jumped over me. I was like, what was that?
Oh,
Like, I was
Mario.
like, something, and it was one of the B2K guys. They jumped over me going in to watch a movie, and then all of a sudden, all of these girls came. I was like, damn, B2K.
B2K.
Wow.
But I think Omarion's Icebox, like that
Icebox.
face. That was
Which
dope.
then
So good.
literally Taeyang
So
took that.
good.
Anyway.
Mouth is closed. Nah, he's got his own thing. Tanner's got his
He
own
did his own
so-
thing, but you
yeah,
could
yeah.
tell. He
I
had the
respect
big
him, man.
belt. He had the white, the
The
undershirt.
wife
Yeah,
beater.
But he's like one of the only guys that can pull that off.
yeah. He
In
did it well.
Korea,
That's why I was like, oh, I like this. Like,
Smashed it. Yeah.
but yeah, man.
So we definitely want to make sure to talk about what you have to offer, with the album, Your Castles EP, coming out July 31st. I know that some of the Patreon members or just contributors can get their name printed on the album. Can you explain all of
Right.
that?
So that offer is already over. Everybody who signed up for my Patreon, their name is printed on the album, and it looks dope. I wish I had one so I could show you right now, but I'm in
Ooh.
quarantine. But it looks so dope. And that was just my way of thanking all the people that supported me.
For sure.
But there's a new special offer I'm doing right now that everybody who's a patron, I'm putting their name in the music video for Liar. It's like a
Oh.
special credit. There's a special thank you. And man, I got so much stuff going on with this new album. I have a live show on this platform called sessionslive.com.
Oh,
I did
yeah.
I did my first one. I was introduced to the platform through Kevin Wu. And the first performance went super well. So we're going to do another one on the 23rd at 8 p.m. PDT. I'm doing another live streaming performance, and I might play some of the songs off the album. And for now, every album that's pre-ordered, I'm going to sign it.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
Giving out. And the first day of pre-orders was crazy. It was just so many. I might have to order some more. So it's going well. It's going well. It's a blessing to be able to do that during this time.
And where can they go to pre-order it? Where is that pre-order
They can
link?
go to shop.jamesleeofficial.com, which is my official store.
Got it. Yay. That'll be awesome. And I'm assuming the album has like photo book and things like that inside
Right,
of it.
it's a digipack, so it's like
Digipack.
Yeah, it's just printed on the physical album, but
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it was
nice.
I have no
Nice.
idea how to design, so I downloaded Photoshop, and it took me like hours to learn how to do it. But
So you designed your own album?
Yeah, designed by
cover?
yours truly. Oh my god, it was rough, because that's not my forte. I prefer the audio, but I did it, and it was blast, and I think the fans are gonna like it.
Awesome. Yay. Okay, so July 31st, Castles EP comes out, and people can still go to pre-order it at shop.jamesleeofficial.com.
Good
And-
memory. That's really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good. And you can still become a Patreon. If you're a Patreon member, you can have your name within the Liar music video.
Correct. So patreon.com/JamesJHL. They're all different. I need to like organize that a little better.
Oh, I'm the same, bro. I should have organized it too.
It's okay. You guys are well known enough now that people can find you. Just type in Dre or just James Lee.
No, if you type in Dre, you get Joe Rogan Entertainment, but it's all good.
There's so many James Lees. Like
Oh,
random.
yeah.
So you know what? My goal is just to become the most famous James Lee. And then we'll see how
There you
that
go.
goes. Yeah.
Well, thank you, James Lee, for taking the time to speak with us today.
No, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to talk about
Yeah.
what I've been working
Hey,
on.
no,
Of
it was fun.
course.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was. And thank you guys, if you're listening, thank you for listening to this podcast. And make sure to go check out the Castles EP when it does come out, July 31st. So thank you guys for listening to In My Feels. I'm Emily Haydel.
I'm JRE.
And I'm James Lee.